you like to watch this game from above the crowd? When it comes to finding you a new home, the team at Total Realty have a game plan that'll put you above the crowd. Whether you're buying or selling, they will answer your questions and provide an expert offense to put you in the lead during the whole process. The Total Realty team members are real people living in your same community. They have the same concerns as you do, and one might just live in your own neighborhood. Your RE/MAX team members are the hometown experts with the world of experience. They don't just want to sell you homes, they want to make you happy. At Total Realty today, log on to ColumbusTotalRealty.com or see their full list of homes from the Columbus app, available on iPhone and Android devices.
Central Community College, investing in you. Academic transfer, business, health, and technical courses all available at a fraction of the cost of a university. Small class sizes for an enhanced educational experience. Get started on improving your future. Contact Central Community College Columbus campus.
Our economic future depends on tomorrow's skilled workforce. Dream it, do it, and Central Community College Columbus is here to help young adults find careers in advanced manufacturing and related businesses. Visit dreamitdoit.com for more information or tour the Central Community College Columbus campus.
Welcome to Ernst, one of the largest dealers in northeast Nebraska. With 8 acres of new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. At the new Ernst, we're doing things differently. Tired of haggling? Tired of back and forth? Let us show you how easy it can be, and we never charge stock fees. Finding the vehicle you want at the best possible price is our priority. We know you can shop anytime or buy anywhere. Shop Ernst, East Highway 30 in Columbus.
Life is about doing those things we love, and when something happens, you risk that connection to those things. It's about the path you follow to recovery, to return to those things that bring a smile to your face. When it comes to physical, occupational, and speech therapy, rely on the experts who combine compassion with excellence in rehabilitative services. The path of personalized, comprehensive, and innovative care to get you where you want to go is at Columbus Community Hospital, specializing in making a difference.
Welcome to Columbus Tire and Service in historic downtown Columbus. We as a team never promise more than we can deliver, and we always give the customer more than they expect. We're authorized dealers for Goodyear, Hankook, and Falcon, but we can get you any vehicle tire you want. We offer full automotive repair by 4 qualified, experienced technicians. We are a qualified farm tire dealer, and we offer 24-hour on-the-farm tire service. Request service, shop for tires, or request a quote at ColumbusTireandService.com, or give us a call to set an appointment, 402-564-6229.
And welcome back to Columbus at Pawnee Park's Memorial Stadium. Halftime still between number 3 Shamrocks and the number 5 Boone Central Newman Grove Cardinals. Scotus with a 14-7 lead in Grant. A very good opening half to the football season for both teams. Exciting, to say the least.
Well, we kind of talked about this defense and how these teams are both extremely high offensive powers, and the Shamrock defense has kind of stepped up here in the second quarter. And I think that's the reason they have this 14-7 lead. We saw Boone Central, Newman Grove trying to kick there right at the end. And not sure if it was kind of a bobble on the holder's part or what happened, but they didn't get that off. Cole Harrington, if they would have got it off, looks like he would have been in there to get the block anyways. But just to talk about Boone Central, Newman Grove, the good things they're doing. Blaine Kennedy, very impressive first half so far. He's done a great job, especially on that first drive of driving and getting downfield. Keaton Henry with 2 catches. He had that big 60-yarder, and then he had one there right before half. And we're looking at that one of them right now. Just a very strong, physical guy. Even number 31, Jared Zwiener. Zwiener. And here's that kick we were talking about. And it's kind of hard to tell, but it looks like it went off somebody's shin or just popped off the ground there. And unfortunately for the Boone Central Newman Grove, they're down by 7 at this half point in a very big game to start off this 2015 football season.
And just going over the statistics from that first half, Boone Central went to the air quite a bit like you talked about. Obviously that 60-yarder by Keaton Henry adds to it, nearly half of the total yards, 125 passing yards for the Cardinals to go along with 60 rushing yards. Henry obviously the leading receiver for Boone Central Newman Grove at this time. As for Scotus, they surprised us. They threw it a little bit. They got 48 yards through the air along with 75 rushing yards. Currently the leading rusher for the Shamrocks was Cole Harrington. He had a 20-yard touchdown runabout, and he's totaled now at 37 on the day. I guess the keys to the game, Grant, what do you say the Shamrocks need to do to hold on to this win? And then the counterpoint, what does Boone Central need to do to get back into this thing?
Well, Cole Harrington's really taken over this game offensively for the Shamrocks, so if they keep utilizing him and some of their other great backs like Jake Boss, Bailey Pelster, we saw score a touchdown, and Spencer, then they're going to be fine on offense. They need to keep things tight on defense, though. Continue mixing up these blitzes so Newman Grove doesn't have a chance to get accustomed to kind of what they're running. Newman Grove, on the other hand, needs to really pick up on defense and have a great second half defensively for them to be able to come back and win this game. Offense for them has been doing good. Both teams need to eliminate penalties. We've seen a couple penalties here in the first half that are false starts, and we've seen 3 or 4 false starts already, which is something that, even though it's the first game of the year, should not be happening at any point in the season.
Silver lining for the Cardinals. I mean, they're only down 7. They're not out of it by any means. They're defending Class C1 state champions. They're down 7, but they are getting kicked 2 at half, so they have a chance to even things up right away if they can repeat what they did in their opening drive of the first half.
Yeah, they are by no means out of this game. It's 7 points in one quarter or 2 minutes or 3 minutes, let alone a whole half, is very makeable. And so look to see this Boone Central Newman Grove team come out of halftime with a lot of fire.
Someone who also got some playing time for the Cardinals, for one set of downs, we'll say, Dylan Gentrup, the sophomore, came in at quarterback. But obviously the mainstay has been the senior, and Blaine Kennedy. Got to feel like he'll be the one who comes out again as the Shamrocks prepare to kick things off to the Cardinals, and currently have just one deep back in Damian Backus awaiting the kick.
Damian Backus is doing good so far, not world beating as far as yards in this game, but we've seen him show off a couple moves here, but Scotus has been doing the same.
So seconds away from kickoff. Jake Boss, the one to do it. He attempted a field goal from 40-plus yards out, nearly got it, but nearly or close only counts.
I thought it went in from up here, but
I did too, and so did the crowd. They were on their feet, and booms this one to about the 5-yard line. Will be returned by the Cardinals. Backus with it, goes right up the middle, gets past the first defender, and brought down at about the 25.
Great job by Backus finding that hole right there and getting him up to the 24-yard line when there was not a lot of room to work with, and because that Scotus defense just came down and they were all over the place.
So see what head coach Mark Hudson does in this opening drive of the second half. Mentioned came from Ravenna in Class C2, taking over for a team that went 13-0 last year and won the state championship. Looks like they're passing set, 2 wide on either side, man in motion from left to right. And it's going to be a keep by the quarterback. Not fooled this time as the Shamrocks defense, and they're just as feisty and sharp as they were to end that second quarter.
This play might not be the best one to talk about it, but Boone Central definitely nothing to shake a stick at. Scotus is going to have to stay on top of their defense like they did that play in order to come out of this game victorious.
Looks like no gain on the play, so 2nd and 10. Upcoming for the Cardinals. Same formation as the last. And no motion this time. Quick drop back pass, goes to the left side, and bounding forward for a couple yards, looks like Kyle Kramer.
Yep, Kyle Kramer with the ball there. Offensive line dropping down and trying to get a couple cuts in there for giving Blaine Kennedy enough time to get off a short pass, but you see those offensive line go down on that cut like that. You want to tell your defensive guys they just need to push on that offensive lineman's back and hopefully get up and block that pass because you know it's coming out of the pocket quick.
Brings up a 3rd and 8 for Boone Central Newman Grove. Crucial down here to start the second half. Flushed out of the pocket by Boss. Throws it on the run. Did he hold on to that?
And they're gonna give him the catch. Great job by number 14 Kyle Kramer of staying concentrated, knowing where he's at on the field and able to bring that down. And we'll see if we can get that up here on the replay as they make their way into a 4th down. We'll see what they're going to do here.
It's currently 4th and 1. Looks like they're going to go for it. And here is that last play, and tiptoe catch and good
Barely
coverage by
had that
Harrington.
one in.
And looks like they go for a punt. It's a high one, and there's going to be some pressure by the Shamrocks. He's going to drop back and throw it. He has a receiver, and oh my goodness, the Cardinals almost pulled off a miraculous play. Good heads-up defense by the Shamrocks.
I don't think I've ever seen a punt gone bad and turn out that way. Let's take a look at that one again. As this punt flies overhead, and instead of turning around and just kicking it or even trying to run for the first down, he chucks that one a good 40 to 50 yards up to number 6, Scott Kettler, but he's unable to come down with that.
And
Cole Harrington, number 12, Dalton Taylor, and just a swarm of Scotus guys on the coverage, thankfully. Otherwise, that would have been a first down.
That was a surprisingly accurate pass, all things considered, from the tight end. Jake Boss with it up the middle, gains 2 or 3 yards. But just going back to that last play, you don't coach how to defend a broken punt that turns into a throw, and it was just a heads-up play by the Scotus defense to have someone in the vicinity, because when a broken play like that happens, anything goes.
At least not a 50-yard throw. I don't know.
That guy's the arm on him.
I've seen people I've seen times where a punter will turn around and chuck that, and like you said, the tight end coming in with the deep pass, but never a 40, 50-yard chuck by the punter on a play that was not intended.
Boss with a 5-yard run brings up 2nd and 5. Going back to Boss, this time along the left side, lowers his shoulder, and he's around the outside. And that's going to be another first down and then some.
And it looked like he bumped into one of his own guys there, but he got around that edge and just, like I said before, rumbling and stumbling. We'll see him come right here and see if he did indeed bounce into one of his own guys right off the edge in the back of one of his own blockers. But essentially, he's one of the own Boone Central Newman Grove guys to block themselves, and like you said, fast guy going around the edge, getting those extra yards, and setting up a first down play and within the red zone.
1st and 10 from the 19-yard line. Going back to Harrington, he cuts it up the middle instead of going outside and gets close to what looks like another first down, maybe 8 yards there, bringing up a 2nd and 2.
Nice job by Scotus, blockers, and those linebackers for Boone Central Newman Grove in backfield. Couldn't quite see who got in on tackle there because they were blocked, but good job by them making up for that hole that Scotus created and the Scotus linebackers created, because otherwise that would have been a touchdown by Harrington.
Does bring up a 2nd and 2. Looks like Dodson, the lone back for the Shamrocks. Man in motion. Believe that Spenceri gets wrapped up for maybe a gain of 1.
Trying to set up that sweep around the outside. Boone Central Newman Grove, great job of staying in their assigned spots, covering those A, B, C, D gaps, and making sure that they didn't get the outside edge, and they were able to stop that before the play really got started.
3rd and 1.
Jake Boss in the backfield.
Jake Boss time, Grant says. And the double reverse again, this time to Pelster, and 2 for 2, is it, on touchdowns, waiting for the signal? And no, they rob him of it. I was going to say, Pelster almost had his 2nd on as many plays of the same degree.
I thought he had a touchdown there. Evidently, we'll check that out on replay if we can, because that looked like it was a touchdown, but they must have had him short. We'll take a look at it here with the double reverse. Goes off to Spenceri, down to Pelster, who does get stopped just short. It looks like he rolls in at the end, but the knee goes down, and that ball gets marked at the half-yard line and just inches away from another touchdown for the Scotus Shamrocks. And they're going to call a timeout. The Shamrocks with a timeout as they mentally prepare for this first down in inches.
8:04 remaining. Coach Tyler Linder, obviously wanting to regroup. Don't need a costly turnover or box snap.
Let's talk about Linder. Great. You couldn't ask, like we've talked about, a much better class to come into, but graduated from UNO in 2010. Now is coaching the Shamrocks. This is his 2nd year, went 9-2 his first season, and now he's coming into his 2nd season without, like we continually say, this great group of seniors. And he does a really good job. For a young coach, you might say, well, he just has these talented players, that's why he does so well. But if you actually sit and watch how good these offenses are designed, these plays are designed, he is a good coach and really fun to watch, fun guy to talk to.
Yep, and like you said, he knows the opportunity he has, and he's treasuring every moment of it, and can't speak highly enough about his group of players, specifically the seniors, and how fun of a ride this has been for him. And he has this whole 2015 season ahead of him where the Shamrocks hope to do some very big things in Class C1. So here it is. First and goal from the 2. 8:04 remaining in the third quarter. Lost the lone back. This time to Harrington again. He's battling.
And that is a touchdown.
And is it? Did they give it to him? Touchdown. Scotus 20-7. That's Harrington's second of the night.
Far side ref with the call there. I assume that's probably a smart decision. Means he's closest to the ball. Let's take a look at this replay. Fake, and Harrington comes around the outside, and he's just going to run right up that hole. Brought to you by the Scotus Shamrocks line, and he's going to mark up 6 points on the board, and he's going to make himself 14 points on the night. Make himself a happy camper. Lead scorer tonight for the Shamrocks, Cole Harrington, is he likes to 15 points, on the night for Cole Harrington, but he likes to score him and kick him.
No, he's making a pretty strong bid for himself should this score hold up to be potential Columbus Community Hospital player of the game. We always like to highlight a key player from the winning team and hear from them afterwards. Kate Bowling, our sideline reporter, will be touching base with whoever that may be. Saying he's an early ballot leader, Grant. I'm not saying he's going to be it because who knows what could happen in these next 20 minutes of play.
Well, just talking about that soccer and how good they were this last year. I mean, you're seeing Cole Harrington kicking extra points, and you see Jake Bosback kicking 36, 40-yarders, and essentially, it looked like it was about in. I had to have just missed, but it was talking about a versatile group of kickers on one squad.
Coach Linder getting the most bang for his buck, if you will, out of his players.
And we talked about Coach Linder a little bit. Mark Dotson, we had a chance to talk to him here before the game started. Very nice guy, very easy to talk to. And you can tell he's really excited. He knows the opportunity and the expectations of coming into a school like Boone Central Newman Grove, where they're known for being just a dominant force, a perennial power in the area. And he understands the responsibility of taking over for someone like Arnie Johnson, who has just left his name just on the plaque of C1 football.
Shamrocks kick off again. Backus fields it at the 10. And gobbled up about the 17-yard line.
You can just see the energy building on this Shamrock sideline as they continue to make good plays. Now Boone Central Newman Grove is going to need to match that energy if they're going to make a run here and try and break down this, what was once a 7-point lead is now a 14-point lead, and make itself a little bit easier for him.
Critical drive here for the Cardinals. Obviously now with the deficit at 14, want to put something up on the board here, and they start off with a quarterback keeper, and the Shamrock defense, I think, had a little trouble figuring that out the first quarter, but some halftime adjustments maybe by Coach Linder, and that hasn't had any success this third.
Well, like we talked about, just reiterating the fact that the Scotus Shamrock defense has really shown up first in this game and has made a name for themselves, showing that they're not going to back down. And they found a way to, with those blitzes, Leonard doing a great job of calling these blitzes and making sure they're filling all the gaps and stopping this very diversified attack that Boone Central Newman Grove offers.
2nd and 10 after no gain on the previous play. Drop back, quick pass, pump fake, and goes for the wheel route. Keaton Henry hits him in stride, and another big catch. He is still going, tackled at the 25-yard line. He had a 60-yard reception in the first half, and there is another big one by the big boy, number 32.
Keaton Henry, if Boone Central Newman Grove pulls this game out, is putting his name as a strong contestant for that. We're going to look at that replay here as he spreads out again down the sideline. Offensive line, great job of holding them off. He catches that one over the shoulder. He breaks a tackle with a great stiff arm, and he tries to set it back and ride off that last two tackles, but fortunately for Scotus, Delton Taylor was able to get him down.
And again, the pass right on the money. This time the fake and kept by quarterback Kennedy. And again, a short gain, if any.
Evan Shohan, great job of getting in there, not reading the fake, not falling for it, and getting a tackle on the quarterback.
So after that, it's going to be 2nd and 11. But again, a very big play. We have a player down. That's Jackson Kumpf. Looks like maybe getting stretched out, possible cramps again. First game of the season, Grant, you know as an athlete that not all the, quite I guess you would say you haven't worked out. What is the word I'm looking for?
I don't know, but I'll tell you what.
Experience?
My senior year, your body's just not quite ready and adjusted for this hot weather at
Endurance.
this intense,
That's what I wanted.
intense of a level of play.
Well, another drop back pass, nonetheless pursuit from the backside, and not quite able to reel it in is Scott Kettler.
In my senior year, about the exact same time, we were playing Hastings, I believe. I was down over there on the 20-yard line on this same field and caught a pass and fell down on my face because of the calves. Both calves cramped up, and so I know what he's feeling right now. And we may or may not see him if he does have calf cramps. Indeed, it looks like he's on the sideline. Trainer is working him out. We may not see him the rest of the game, depending on how many fluids and how much Gatorade they're able to get back into his system, because those cramps at this when your body's this dehydrated sometimes are kind of unrelenting.
3rd and 11 again. Drop back, pass back to the same receiver, and Kettler this time he brings it in. That'll be a gain of 6. Bringing up 4th and 5 in decision-making time for Mark Hudson and the Cardinals. Is there really a question? Do you go for it here? Looks like the Cardinals have their minds made up.
This is kind of where we find out what kind of coach Mark Hudson is, in a sense.
And
you
looks
see
like
Kennedy out there. It appears they are definitely going for it.
6:23 remaining. 4th and 5. Or excuse me, 4th and 1. Much closer than I initially thought. I think the chain gain had me fooled. But a flag is thrown. This could be detrimental to the Cardinals, and no, instead, it's a first down as it goes against the Shamrocks.
Great job by Kennedy there. Evidently drawing a Scotus Shamrock defender offsides, giving them the first down. And if you're Linder, you're not very happy about that. But if you're Hudson, you're excited for a fresh set of downs and a chance to cut down this lead.
And with that, it's going to be 1st and goal from the 10-yard line. This is the kind of response you would want and expect if you're head coach Mark Hudson, just seeing now if his team can cap it off. I formation, fakes the pitch, rolls out, had a receiver in the flats, and hit after the play. There was 2 defenders in Spenceri as well as number 34 and Evan Shohan bearing down.
And I'm not sure he had much room to run on the outside there. He could have maybe got around the edge if he would have caught that ball anyways, but good job by the Shamrock defense getting in there. And that was appeared to be a designed kind of let the guys through on the screenplay and open up that running back, which usually we'll see kind of a pass up the middle. But Shamrock's in his face, I think probably a little more than he even anticipated.
With that, a 2nd and 10 from the 10-yard line. One wide receiver out to the left. Lane Kennedy right under center. Does the pitch play to Backus. Backus tries to cut it up, and big-time pursuit. There's number 34, Evan Shohan, again in on the action.
Great job cutting right up the gap and finding that running back as he tried to make one. He tried to break one open for a touchdown, obviously, but Shohan was not having it.
Evan Shohan, a former goalie like we talked about, but a 6'1 linebacker. He's a little bit scary in high school, with long arms and legs. He's coming for you.
Most linebackers, and the 6'1's a good height for a linebacker, but at the high school level, that's pretty tall. You'll see.
I think normally you play him at safety or something.
Yeah, normally put him at a safety or at least stick him on an outside backer. You can even see Shohan lining up in that inside backer spot most of the time.
Well, with that tackle brings up 3rd and 8. Another fake pitch going to the corner. One-on-one coverage. I believe that it's going to be pass interference against Cole Harrington. He does not agree whatsoever. Kyle Kramer, the intended receiver. See the teammates of Harrington wanting to talk to him, calm him down. Don't need any extra penalties. Looks like the officials are going to confer.
Looks like they're going to call this, and I think the reason for this call is because it didn't appear Harrington's head had turned around. We'll see if we can take a look at this. See what they call here.
Pass interference against the Shamrocks.
Pass interference on Cole Harrington.
That's going to bring up a fresh set of downs.
The ball will be spotted at the 5-yard line. It will be 3rd and goal from the 5.
3rd and 5 is Boone Central Newman Groves tries to put this one in the end zone and cut down on that 14-point lead.
Stand corrected. I thought this was college or NFL rules. No fresh set of downs. 3rd and 5 still. Shamrock defense going to have to stand strong. Cardinals looking to get into the end zone. Handoff or pitch to back as he goes right up the middle and nothing doing. Is that Shohan again? And yes, it is. Initial penetration, though, initially really helped out there by the Shamrocks.
Shohan is looking like a middle linebacker this game. He's doing a great job of getting up there. He's getting angry, and he's making sure to stop. We'll take a look at this again. Shohan shedding the block, getting downfield, and credit Jake Boss for getting in there and grabbing the ankles, slowing down number 2 Damian Backus before he can make any more moves.
So 4th and 5, and looks like the Cardinals are going to go for the 3 points. 4:50 remaining in this 3rd quarter.
Holding will be Scott Kettler.
Kyle Kramer, the one back to do the kicking. Kick is up a low one, and I don't think it cleared it. No.
And I'm not sure what happened there. We'll take a look at this again on replay if we can get that back up. But I'm not sure if that ball just didn't get off the ground or if that was a little miscarry on the holder.
Boone Central Newman Grove having some issues on the special teams department. You know, you had the high snap, you had the field goal at the end of halftime, or going into halftime that was botched in some way, and then this field goal now. And, you know, if you're a coach, you say you got to be good in all 3 facets of the game. Special teams will kill you.
Yeah, something you don't hear a lot of people talking about. I know we didn't talk about it much, but the Boone Central special teams game, wasn't sure if that was going to be as big of a factor as it has been so far.
Jared Zwiener on the tackle there of Jake Boss. Gain of 1 on that.
31 Jared Zwiener for the Cardinals.
As we look at these schedules too, Boone Central Newman Grove comes up this game, and they play Columbus Lakeview at home, followed by North Bend Central. Both will be all right games. Lakeview, interested to see how they finish off tonight's game against Wilbur-Clantonia with a more experienced team than last year. Scotus, we talked about, heading to Aquinas Catholic, then Central City and Pierce. A very tough schedule to start off this season.
A lot of good football on this schedule for all these teams, and a swing pass defended well by the Cardinals, and Bailey Pelster, I believe, the one who got hit and wasn't able to reel that one in. That one never really had a chance, though.
Not much room to work there, as Kyle Kramer was on the outside and
bring up a 3rd and 9 for the Shamrocks.
Breaking that thing up before it could really get started.
And if you don't know who we are, we're ColumbusNewsTeam.com. Pleased to be bringing you this broadcast. We have a website, has local news, sports, weather, all the things that people want to know. Local coverage. We cover the Platte Valley in its entirety, and we like to bring all the news to you as well as sports. Happy to do it. Here's Bailey Pelster on 3rd and long. He gets the speed around the outside. There's a 1st down. And brought to you by the ColumbusNewsTeam.com. You're watching this here.
And if you can't get enough sports action, if your Friday nights aren't enough, you need more sports, then go ahead and check out the Coaches Show. Airs every Thursday. Get a chance to hear from Coach Frinson, Coach Williams, and Coach Linder on how last week's game went the previous week, how practice is going, and where they're looking forward to this next game. Also, you can listen to me on the Geo Show with Brandon will be on there as well. Then Eric McKay up in Norfolk comes on there. We get to hear from coaches around the area. So if you need more sports, there are options out there.
Short carry by Boss, and yes, Grant, we've been waiting for this moment for 3 to 4 months, and it feels good that it is finally here.
I'm excited. Coach's Show is great. Geo Show, we're getting ready for the 4th episode. We just put up the 3rd episode today. That airs every Friday, but it's been a blast so far. Just glad to be talking about sports again this high school year. Thankfully kicked off again. The summer was a little slow as far as sports go in the area, so great to be back at it.
2nd and 8, hands off to Spenceri. He is wrapped up. Cardinals trying to strip the ball. Unable to do so. Getting in there is Keaton Henry on the tackle and company.
Scott Kettler at number 32.
Just under 3 minutes remaining in this 3rd quarter. bringing up a 3rd and 8 for the Shamrocks.
Boone Central by no means out of this game at this point, only down 14 points with a whole quarter and 3 minutes left to go, but
crucial down here
for them, and they need to make a move here, and pretty soon within this quarter if they're going to start making a comeback.
Pelster goes in motion. They give the ball to Pelster, trying to get around the corner on that right side and stuff. Great pursuit by the Cardinals.
And there is a flag on the field. We'll take a look at that replay here, see if we can spot what that is.
Shamrocks fans stepping up cheering. Looks like I don't know. I don't want to speculate. Let's see what it is.
Coming around the end here. Looks like we're going to see a little face mask action.
Tough break for the Cardinals. You had Pelster dead to rights on 3rd and long, and then you kick yourself with that face mask personal foul.
Maybe Coach Hudson, that hurts because they had that, and they almost turned around for a set to score another touchdown. If they, at least opportunities are everything. And with this Scotus offense operating at the level it is operating this Friday evening, they need to not mess up, and they need to take advantage of those opportunities.
That brings up a fresh set of downs on the 47-yard line. 2:18 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Pelster goes in motion, fakes the pitch. Prismus drops back. He's going for it all, looking for Dalton Taylor in a battle, and the ball falls just short, just slightly underthrown. Good defense, though. I believe that's Kyle Kramer in the safety spot.
Yeah, Taylor and Kramer really battling to try and get a hold of that ball. Throwing a little short. Prismus ideally would have got that over the shoulder to the backside of Taylor, and you would expect Taylor to adjust to make that catch, and he could potentially have been gone for a touchdown. But as we've seen, that ball was just a little bit short and unable for either player to make a play on that. Credit to Taylor, though, to readjusting and making sure that the defense didn't intercept.
Hand off to Spenceri, bobbles it, but then recovers and nearly breaks through to that final level.
Boy, did he look quick there. Spenceri doing a good job wrapping around the edge today. A lot of handoffs from across the formation.
Bring up a 3rd and 2 for the Shamrocks.
3rd and 8 upcoming for Scotus. 1:40 remaining in the 3rd. Have Taylor out to the left. Man coverage, no help over top. Pelster in motion, and they decide to give it to Pelster, and he tries to get around the right side for a gain of 3.
By Bailey Pelster.
Or Prismus, it looks like. Stretching out on the backside there. It looks like he might be having a little calf cramp as well. That heat.
By number 14, Kyle Kramer, number 36, Dalton Wagner.
As we can see, Kump still on the sideline,
is down to the
drinking that Gatorade, drinking that water. He wants to. It looks like he's itching to get back in, but as we talked about, the calf cramp is just it's a tough thing to battle through. Looks like he's strapping on the helmet. He might be able to come back in the game here, but he's jogging around.
Ball goes up the middle to Boss again, and he's rumbling. He's still going, and that's what you're used to seeing. You saw a lot of it last year. He gets hit initially, and then he keeps churning those legs. He lowers his shoulder and gets those extra yards.
Great job by Boss there, but credit to the offensive line for opening up the initial hole, but that was Boss after he got to that second level. He's just carrying guys 10, 15 yards every time he touches the ball.
So now at the 1 minute mark, another set of fresh downs for Scotus. 1st and 10 from the 30. Dodson now in the backfield. And they give it to Dodson. He gets a short gain on the play.
Ball carried by Marcus Dodson.
It looked like Zwiner was in there for the stop. Looks like they're talking a little bit back and forth. And talking can be good, gets the defense a little more hyped up, gets them a little more amped up to play to an extent. Obviously, you don't want to see anybody trash talking to the extent to where they start to fight. But I always enjoy seeing a little bit of smack talk out there. It's always good and fun.
There's a healthy amount. There's always that fine line, but I think it adds that little extra edge.
Cole Harrington on the wraparound. He breaks.
Harrington, oh my goodness, he cuts it up, and yes. Right, you were calling it. He gets another 20-yard gain. Harrington looks like he is not affected by this heat. He is just running hard.
They're going to run a little quick reverse. They put him in motion. Then he wraps around the edge. Pelster with a nice block. Dotson with a block as well, but then he finds that hole with a little speed. Backus wraps up on the ankles, and then he almost gets back up, almost stays up, but they call him down. And now they're sitting pretty and well on the 13-yard line.
And that's going to do things for the third quarter. Shamrocks attempting to go up by 21 points. Fourth quarter action just around the corner. Scotus leads 21-7.
Scotus doing a great job this half so far of making defensive stops, and we'll see more of this hopefully once we get back from break.
Columbus United Federal Credit Union is a full-service financial institution that serves Columbus and the surrounding area. Financial services are available to those that live in our 5-county area. With 2 Columbus locations, mobile phone access, and online services, convenient banking is right in your neighborhood or at your fingertips. Find us at www.
Life is about doing those things we love. And when something happens, you risk that connection to those things. It's about the path you follow to recovery, to return to those things that bring a smile to your face. When it comes to physical, occupational, and speech therapy, rely on the experts who combine compassion with excellence in rehabilitative services. The path of personalized, comprehensive, and innovative care to get you where you want to go is at Columbus Community Hospital, specializing in making a difference.
Welcome to Columbus Tire and Service in historic downtown Columbus. We as a team never promise more than we can deliver, and we always give the customer more than they expect. We're authorized dealers for Goodyear, Hankook, and Falcon, but we can get you any vehicle tire you want. We offer full automotive repair by 4 qualified, experienced technicians. We are a qualified farm tire dealer, and we offer 24-hour on-the-farm tire service. Request service, shop for tires, or request a quote at columbustireandservice.com, or give us a call to set an appointment, 402-564-6229.
Home Real Estate is an all-star team of realtors who are ready to work for you. We work tirelessly to sell your home or find the right home to suit your needs. I am Home Real Estate's broker, Don Dreesen, and I have 40 years of experience. I know Columbus. Home Real Estate, serving Columbus and the surrounding areas.
Welcome back. Fourth quarter action just to be about underway. It is underway. And Brady Prismus is going to keep it going to the outside to the right. And good pursuit. Maybe a gain of 1 or 2, if any. This is the fourth quarter that's now underway. Scotus leading 21-7. That third quarter of Columbus News Team's live Game of the Week coverage brought to you by Bo's West Bar and Grill. They have the best burgers in Columbus, Grant. That's the word on the street. That's what I hear.
Yeah, that's the word from my mouth, too. I tell you what, those burgers are quite delicious. If you haven't been to Bo's West, make sure you get out there. Really good service, really good job. Always enjoy eating out at Bo's West. Right out here on the west side of Columbus, we couldn't put it together.
And they're going to be open after the game. Cole Harrington, though, riding up the middle now and gets another gain close to a first down, but finishing that thought, you could grab a burger at Bo's West after enjoying this game.
And eventually you can enjoy a burger while watching this game out there.
That is the direction we're going.
That's the direction we're going.
So 11:03 remaining. How big, obviously, Grant, sounds like a silly question, but this is crucial for the Cardinals right now. At this point in the game, Scotus goes up 21 points. It's going to be tough for the Cardinals to come back.
I tell you what, it's not even just the fact that they can't make up that 21 points, because they have the offensive power to do that, but the mental adjustments you need to make to get back to that level. And Boss getting tackled way in the backfield there. I believe it was at Pelster.
Keaton Henry heard you on that one, I think, realizing the significance of the down, and says, not on my watch. Kind of just manhandled him there.
And that was Bailey Pelster. We'll take a look at that again.
There you see him right on the left edge, too. Number 32 coming in.
Bailey Pelster's going to get around the edge on a play. They've run a couple times, but Keaton Henry in there just a little too quick for Pelster to have any opportunity to get yards in that. And a very big play by him. And they'll kick here. Try and put 3 on the board.
Cole Harrington, the one to do it. He kicks it. Plenty of distance. Is it in? I believe it looks like it, and gets the field goal. 3 more big points, 24-17 now, making it a 17-point deficit. Shamrocks very much in control of this game.
Yeah, and they're going to need to get at least 3 scores here, whatever form that is, to 2 touchdowns and a field goal to 3 touchdowns in order to tie or win this game and bring this back in overtime.
And then how crucial does that Boone Central Newman Grove field goal miss on their last possession? You know, that really kills them, like you said, now forcing them to score on 3 occasions.
Well, 2 very odd kicks by Boone Central Newman Grove where the ball, the first one, you know, at first glance appeared to be a blocked kick, but at second glance you watch that replay and it looks like the ball just never really got off the ground and then it hit some ankles. And then that second kick they came out and it was very low and to the left, so I'm not sure what the issue with that is, but very big points indeed.
There you see head coach Mark Hudson searching for answers right now. Knew it would be no easy task to start his coaching career at Boone Central Newman Grove, coming to Columbus to take on a Scotus team like this, and the Cardinals with their backs against the ropes currently.
Boone Central Newman Grove, like we've stated, was is the defending state champs. Last time Scotus has won it was 1993, and they were in Class B, I believe, and then 1984 the time before then. Boone Central a little more familiar with it, winning it in 2004, or runner-up in 2004, and championship in 2001.
Another kick. The wedge is set up by the Cardinals. They're going right up the middle, and it works for them. About the best kick return they've had, getting near the 30-yard line by Damian Backus.
Backus, great job of finding that hole, and we give credit to the Boone Central Newman Grove blockers for setting up that wedge the way they did. And I don't know if the wedge is quite the term. We'll take a look at this. Backus runs up the middle, got that the 2-on-2 wedge split, and then just enough for Backus, kind of a small back, to sneak through and get those extra yards, putting them on the 29, as they start off this fourth quarter drive.
Man in motion from left to right. Handed off to Backus again, and he gets swallowed up by the Scotus defense again. Jackson comes in on the action among 3 other Shamrocks. Shohan as well.
We've seen
linebacking core just dictating things right now in the second half.
Yeah, we've seen Backus, Blaine Kennedy, Keaton Henry. We've even seen Jared Zwiner make some plays, and then you had Scott Kettler on the outside and Kyle Kramer as well. So Boone Central Newman Grove not short on weapons to use, but you couldn't tell by the way the Scotus defense is playing right now.
Coach Linder must have said something to him at halftime, because they have been all Shamrocks this second half, rolling out play, and there's a completion to a receiver for the first time for the Cardinals. Cody Nelson, another sophomore, getting in on the action.
See if they mark this a first down, and they will. He got tackled behind the line, but forward momentum gave him about 2 yards ahead of the line.
The game is out to the Boone Central 41-yard line.
That'll bring up a fresh set of downs. Ball on the 41. 9 minutes remaining. Gotta feel like there's going to be a lot of passing by the Cardinals for here on out as they attempt to get back into this thing.
Setting up in the shotgun.
There's the pitch up the middle, and trying to get around to the outside and unable to do so is Andy King. And there is Jake Boss, the big man, saying no.
Jake Boss stopping the outside there, and then Cole Harrington coming in with the kind of the big hit. You know, Boss sets up, makes sure he's not going anywhere, and Cole Harrington said, "Let me take a shot at him." And unfortunately for Andy King, nowhere to go on that play.
And a gain of 1, so 2nd and 9.
Kind of a little thing they've been trying to get Pelster. They've been giving that Scotus has been doing to Pelster. They kind of did a little bit of that front pitch action.
And then there's 8 again being shown in the box by the Shamrocks, showing like they're going to bring the blitz, and they do from the linebacking core. And there's a breakthrough by Backus, and that's what happens sometimes if you do that on the defensive end. Backus gets a first down this time. You know, you live by the bomb, you die by the bomb, and Shamrocks got caught on that one.
Backus, great job of finding the hole, getting past that blitz, and finding the open field. Take a look at the replay here. Shamrocks bring it all, and then that's, wow, really just a great job by those fullbacks and tight ends for Boone Central Newman Grove of filling in that hole and getting those wraparound blocks and those cutoff blocks for Backus to really just have free reign of that field.
I think they were counting on the Cardinals passing like they show here on the run, going for Kettler. A little bit short there, though.
From
Blaine Kennedy, yeah, not able to get it quite up high enough.
Number 6, Scott Kettler.
Not much room to throw there. Covered pretty heavily by
Broken up by number 45,
Harrington
Matt
and number
Spector for the
23,
Shamrocks.
John Lovell back there as well.
Up a 2nd and 10 from the 39.
The Scotus Shamrock backfield doing a really good job of kind of covering things up outside of the tight ends going down the middle. They haven't found an answer quite for that yet, but on this outside they've done a good job so far.
3 wide for the Cardinals on the left. Kennedy drops back and pressure by Shohan. Great touch and catch though. There is Keaton Henry again. Another third big play. He's still going. He is hard to bring down. And finally ushered out of bounds by about 5 Shamrocks near the 20-yard line.
This guy's just having a heck of a game. We'll take a look at this replay here. The play action up the middle, they're going to wrap this around to the outside. Just a real short outside pass, and Keaton Henry's got blocks thanks to Zviner. But he's just a tough runner. He's stumbling downfield. He's breaking through tackles, and a great job by Keaton Henry to get those extra yards.
7:20 remaining, and this is what you want if you're head coach Mark Hudson, to get back into this thing. No back set for the Cardinals. Kennedy drops back. He drops the snap and falls on it, luckily for him. Just looks like maybe a little bit of sweat or something. Not a whole lot you can attribute that to.
Not sure what happened there, but unfortunately for as soon as they start going and they start making some progress, it seems like Boone Central keeps shooting themselves in the foot and stopping that progress, knocking them back 10, 15 yards right when they don't need that.
So now 2nd and 19. Clock going to be an ever-present issue for the Cardinals as it's running now 6:36 to go in the contest.
As they say, no better time to start than now. They need to get in the end zone quick and start cutting back on this lead.
High snap, Kennedy fields it, decides to run up the middle and get some decent yards. Still going. Dalton Taylor in on the tackle along with Evan Shohan.
Blaine Kennedy, a couple good passes so far tonight to his tight ends up the middle, as we said. A couple short passes to the outside. The deep ball not always been there because for Scotus, it's either been a little bit short or the defense has been able to stop it. But he's been doing a really good job consistently of running the ball and finding space to run.
20-yard line.
Only unfortunate thing when you run, the clock also continues to run, and we're now under 6 minutes to play. 5:50. Backus, the lone back next to Kennedy. Kennedy drops back again, looks to his left, throws and hits Kettler. Harrington cleans him up after the catch.
Kettler, a great job holding on to that ball because Harrington really just dug into his back there with that hit.
Harrington for the Shamrocks. The ball will be spotted
Can be close to a
10-yard line.
First down. Not sure if they're going to give it to him or not. No. Looks like 4th and 1 for the Cardinals, and you're obviously going to go for it here. Another situation where you have to look for the hard count if you are the Scotus defense. Kennedy under center. No hard count. Kennedy keeps it. He's going to get the first.
That's set up well. I like that play call a lot by Hudson because they've been running that hard count on these late downs quite often this game. We've seen about 3 or 4 times already. And to come out and just power in a real quick quarterback sneak, they were able to knock down a couple yards, and they're working with the first down now and a fresh set towards the end zone. But like you said, this clock is continuing to run, and we got 4:53 and counting down left in this game.
First and goal to go from the 5-yard line. Backus in the backfield again alongside Kennedy. And decide to go to Backus. He's going to get a gain of 2. 3 yards to go for 6 points for the Cardinals.
Winchester Newman Grove doing a great job of moving the ball right now. Something they should have been doing, ideally doing this in the third quarter because they're really chopping down on that clock and not giving themselves a lot of time to work with when they're down by 3 scores.
4:07 now, and 2nd and 4 is the official mark. Kennedy takes the snap, drops back. Shohan applies pressure, throwing to the middle. Good defense. And great DB play by Dalton Taylor, the free safety.
Taylor, great job covering up that play right now. Great route by, it looks like Kramer was on that route, and Kramer and Taylor both very tall, limber, athletic guys. And covering those short slant routes is not an easy thing to do, but luckily for the Shamrocks, Taylor did a good job on that play.
No, don't worry about it. We'll just looking for the posting interview. You have to interview head coach and then the player, right?
There's that fake handoff. Kennedy's going to keep it himself. He scampers in, and the Shamrocks give up the first touchdown of the second half, 24-13, excuse me, right now, pending the extra point attempt by the Cardinals.
Don't have the numbers in front of me, but I would assume Kennedy is at least out there, possibly the lead rusher tonight for Boone Central. Newman Grove done a great job of breaking a couple tackles to see the fake off to Backus there, and he's able to just find the hole. Shohan eyed up the ball, but unfortunately for him, Kennedy was able to get around him, and fortunately for Boone Central Newman Grove, they were able to get the 6 points, and they looked to finish that off with a field goal by Kramer.
Extra point up and good. 10-point ball game. Again, we'd like to remind you that instant replay you just saw of that touchdown brought to you by Bill's Tire Outlet in Columbus. You know what you can do, Grant? You can buy 4 select Kumho tires and get a rebate up to $120.
That's a deal I can't pass up. You know, I love my tires. I always gotta have a fresh set on the whip. Monty needs a fresh set of tires to roll on.
I was telling you, I have the quad drive, or the 4 all-wheel drive, and I replaced my front tires, but my back are needing to be replaced.
Those
Lack of a
tires,
better
where are
term.
going to be?
They're bare. The wires are coming out. That is a driving hazard, I hear.
It is a driving hazard.
So,
thankfully for you, though, Bill's Tires has some great deals. And they're going to hook you up with a fresh set of back tires. So thank you, Bill's Tires. Appreciate that. And if you didn't hear before, we had some great burger talk out at Bo's West. Thank you to Bo's West. And they have delicious burgers out there. If you haven't been out there, they got the food truck scene, little outdoor eating. This weather is perfect right now. We're in the fall. We're in the little breezy. It's almost sweatshirt weather. It's just a perfect area when it gets to winter. They got the heaters out there. So if you haven't been out to Bo's West, make sure you get out there, enjoy a burger, and enjoy a great beer, because they do a nice job out at Bo's West.
And with 3:46 remaining, after we thank our sponsors, who again we're very grateful for, that allow us to do these broadcasts and bring them to you. Onside kick pending for the Cardinals with a 10-point deficit currently, and it is going straight to Marcus Dodson. Does exactly what you want to see if you're a head coach in the hands team. Scoops it and falls on it, and danger averted.
Textbook. And you're just glad he holds on to that, because there's many a time where you see that ball pop out the other end because it slides off the chest. And great job by you said Dotson was on there, but great job by him to hold that down. And now the Shamrocks have a fresh set of downs and time on their side at this point.
And also, if you saw that graphic, we have an app. You can download it in the App Store or Google Play and have all of our news at your fingertips with push notifications and everything. Check that out if you're so inclined. Flag is thrown on this play. The Shamrocks look to run the clock out. 3:40 remaining. We'll see what the Stripes have to say.
That
was Boss on the carry.
73, Joe O'Brien. There's a flag on the play. Illegal motion against the Shamrocks.
They're going to call another second illegal motion call. Well, they called the legal shift earlier in the game on Scotus. Now an illegal motion, and my guess is, like we talked about earlier, maybe someone on the offense was motioning and then decided to look back towards the line a little bit too early before the snap.
Illegal motion against the Shamrocks. The penalty will be declined.
That has been declined by Boone Central Newman Grove. They're going to head to second down now.
Ball's at the Boone Central 49-yard line.
Boone Central Newman Grove taking the chance that they will be able to stop this in Sooner Downs.
Clock is running. 3:30 now. 2nd and 9 after the declined penalty, as you said. And hand off to Pelster, looking for room on the near side, and taken down after a gain of a couple feet maybe. It's going to get into territory pretty shortly where Mark Hudson's going to have to start calling timeouts to stop the clock. Not now is the time. 3-9 and counting remaining.
Now, surprising, their running was very effective on that last drive. It would have been, in my mind, the more ideal, suitable type of offense if they would have been running that, a quarter ago instead of letting that time drip down. But that time is eating away and not giving Boone Central, it's at least not favorable for Boone Central Newman Grove at this point.
Pelster and Spenceri, the wingbacks, boss the backfield. Prismus drops back to pass, looking for Dalton Taylor. Great coverage by Backuson. The clock is stopped on 3rd and 8, and a little bit of a gamble there by head coach Tyler Linder, trying to catch the Cardinals potentially banking on them running it. 2:39 to go with 4th and 8 upcoming.
And Boone Central Newman Grove down by 10 points, 2 scores at this point. And with just over 2 minutes, just under 3 minutes, not a lot of time to work with. Still very doable at this point, but man, if they flip the ball back over in the punting here, you expect to see some passing out of this.
Short punt, may have gotten a piece of it by the Cardinal defenders. Takes a neutral roll, I'd say. And ball's down at the 26-yard line. 2:30 to go, and the Cardinals got to be feeling inspired after their last drive, and they're going to be coming out and gunning again.
For a second, might have thought we were going to see a flag there in the end. Not sure if they got a tip on that punt or not after contact with the punter, but Boone Central Newman Grove will kick off this late quarter drive. You would assume with a little passing, maybe some short outs. But as we've seen so far, that has not really been their game plan. They kind of just been doing whatever they need to get that ball downfield.
If I had to guess, they're going to go to Keaton Henry. This time Damian Backus, though. Interesting call is gain of maybe 1. 3 timeouts left, but that's not going to help your cause. 2:20 and counting.
Like we said, we've kind of been expecting for them to air the ball out a little more, but for some reason they continue to run it. But we'll see what this game plan will pan out for Boone Central Newman Grove as they step back.
There's the drop back, and there it is. Keaton Henry left alone in the flat, and again, you can't let him get out in the open and run like that. And there's a gain of 25. He has to be close to 100 yards receiving now. Gets out of bounds, and clock stops at 1:53.
And we see a replay here. Dropping back, Keaton Henry out on the outside, makes a little move, puts him into the ground, and he's going to get another 10 yards on that play before getting knocked out of bounds. And I suppose you can run the ball as much as you want when Keaton Henry's out on the edge making plays like that.
So 1st and 10 again, 49-yard line for the Cardinals.
That was Jackson Kumpf in the game.
That I am not sure of.
I believe he was in on that last tackle.
Drops back on the pump fake, and Damian Backus is open and can't quite hang on to that one. He found the hole in the zone defense.
Jackson Kumpf is in the game. I'm surprised he came back. I kind of talked a little bit about that earlier, those calf cramps, and he must have got hydrated, and it must not have been too severe because once you start cramping and you're playing at this level and your body's dehydrated, it's pretty relentless. So good for the Shamrocks to have him back in the game. Very talented player.
Always want your best players in these types of situations with 1:47 to go. 10-point deficit. Cardinals looking to drive. 2nd and 10, and there's another pass. And again, just a little bit behind the receiver, and Scott Kettler brings up 3rd and 10 now.
Scott Kettler falls incomplete. Coverage on the play by number 9, Cole Harrington for the Shamrocks.
If this game so far has told us anything, I'm sure you're going to find a couple SCOTUS defenders eyeing up Keaton Henry on this next play as they go for 3rd down and 10 yards. Keaton Henry lining up on the... not in the game.
Ball carried by Blaine Kennedy. The tackle made by number 38, Jake Voss for the Shamrocks.
Now faced with a 4th down and 8 yards.
1:36, remaining, 4th and 8, and you have to go for it if you're the Cardinals, and they're going to take a timeout, or actually Shamrocks take the timeout to talk things over. Okay, this is good, they're taking a timeout. You're still getting a feed, you said?
Boone Central Newman Grove faced with about 4th and 6, 4th and 7 here. With little time left in the fourth quarter. Needing to make some plays as they finish with this timeout and come back to the field.
So that timeout, yes, taken by Coach Mark Hudson and the Boone Central Newman Grove Cardinals. 1:36 remaining. If you're just joining us, 4th and 8, Cardinals down 24-10, and do or die here. This is the ball game for the Cardinals if they want to keep their hopes alive, and they do. A catch and then some. Great touch, Jared Zwiener. That is not his first catch of the night. Right down the seam, and Cardinals' hopes remain alive with a minute 30.
I tell you what, we'll take a look at this play right here, and we'll talk a little bit more about Zwiener's game so far. But he cuts down the middle, and that tight end, he's covered up, but Zwiener does a great job of getting his mitts on that ball. Zwiener playing alongside Keaton Henry, who's had an outstanding game. These two tight ends just doing a fabulous job of getting in the middle and getting yards.
And Blaine Kennedy, not the first time he's dropped it right in there, but not on this occasion. Evan Shohan, the middle linebacker with the pick, and that's going to seal things. The Shamrocks up 24-14, a minute 12 to go, and that will seal the deal. The big play by the linebacker.
I mean, we knew going into this game that Shohan was going to be a great defensive player. Let's take a look at this. He's lined up at left, middle, Will, and he just eyes that ball. He's right on it the whole time. Blaine Kennedy just throws it straight to him, and Shohan takes advantage of that as Scotus looks to seal this game out here after a big interception by Shohan.
And some relief maybe by head coach Tyler Linder and the Shamrocks. Cardinals threatening. They still had an uphill battle ahead of them. But you got to feel good, pretty much ensuring a Week 1 win against a very formidable opponent in the defending state champion Boone Central Newman Grove Cardinals. They give it to Boss, and he churns his legs, gets a gain of 5.
Boss having a great game so far. Pelster having a great game so far, but as we'll see in a little bit, Cole Harrington having a fabulous night on offense and on defense as well, but he's really just been the utility man this evening against this very good Boone Central Newman Grove team.
Taken by Boone Central.
Boone Central Newman Grove not giving up as Coach Hudson takes a timeout with a minute 03 to go. But again, I think you were the one, Grant, who was to say it was going to come down to who shows up on defense, and defense fittingly, on what would appear, seals the game.
Absolutely, and I love, if you're a Scotus fan, you gotta love seeing your defense seal the game with an interception. There's nothing more exciting than the defense coming up big and stopping an offense towards the end of the game. Just being resilient when you're getting towards the end of a tough battle like this, and your players are just tired. Evan Shohan, big interception. He's gonna be celebrating that tonight when they finish up this game and go home, as it looks to be with a victory over Boone Central Newman Grove, the defending champions.
Cardinals with one timeout remaining, 2nd and 5. A first down by the Shamrocks would entirely seal things. I think that's what they're going for here. Spenceri with it and gets hit initially at the line of the scrimmage, then churns for a couple extra yards, gain of 3.
Spenceri amongst all these other backs that we've been talking about. Spenceri been doing a very good job tonight, very quick back. They've been kind of doing a lot of wraparound action with him where he's been finding holes more in the CD holes in the area on the offense on those outsides, but he's really a quick guy, and it seems like the talent doesn't end for this Scotus offense.
And that, in fact, was a first down, 40 seconds and running for the 1st and 10. Scotus gives it to Pelster. Pelster breaks through. He may take this one all the way. Look at his speed and athleticism. He crosses the 30, the 20. He's going all the way for the touchdown with an exclamation point on this game.
Pelster with the crazy good run right there. That's unreal by the back who didn't start the game. Then he comes in and he's going out of this game. Let's take a look at this again if we can. But Pelster, just an amazing run, going back and forth. Look at this, just cutting, dodging defenders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 defenders, and then just outruns them as he can. And 78, credit to Wyatt Gutzmer getting in there and blocking and coming in on the celebration as well on that giant play.
24 seconds remaining, and what a way to end things here. Harrington again gets his third PAT of the night. 31 now to 14 in Grant. I'm no historian, but last year, week 1, Scotus went up to Boone Central and were defeated by what would be state champions 31 to 14, and the tables have turned in 2015.
And just talking about how good that Boone Central team was last year, and they are still good. Last year, 1,950 pass yards, 2,640 rushing yards, 150 rushing yards or 150 passing yards per game, and 203 rushing yards per game. You know, just seem to be unstoppable. But the script has flipped this year. And if you're Scotus, do you take this as a sign that maybe you're filling the boost that Boone Central filled last year?
They have the potential. Coach Linder's talked about it all preseason. It will be about handling the expectations and the aspirations that this team has. Returning 16 starters, players like Boss, Pelster, Harrington, and all the other guys we've named tonight. They're going to be here to stay throughout the season, and they know that this could be a very special year, and this is the very important start to the season where they get off on the right note.
Barring no injuries take place for either squad, it'll be exciting to see how the rest of the season turns out. Columbus Scotus next week playing Aquinas Catholic, and we will be covering that game as well. So very much excited to cover that game. And Boone Central Newman Grove playing Lakeview.
Kicking off for the Shamrocks will be number 34, Evan Shohan.
And 24 seconds is all that remains now.
The Cardinals, number 7, Dylan.
It's of little consolation. It's the squib kick now by the Shamrocks. The Cardinals fall on it. And things will shortly run out again. We've talked about all the sponsors that allow us to broadcast these games. Another person, or I guess not person, but entity, Ernst. We'd like to thank them. Ernst Toyota, our marquee sponsor that allows us to broadcast these games. They have a Toyota annual clearance event going on now through Labor Day. Be sure if you're in the market for a car to check that out. They'll be more than happy to accommodate your wishes and help you out.
Yeah, Ernst does a great job. Really like those guys over there. We get a chance to talk with them and see them over at the station every once in a while. Really nice group of guys. I'm sure if you're from Columbus, you've been out there at least once with not a family member or a friend, but thanks to Ernst.
And handoff for the Cardinals, this time going to Tyler Shiver, 170-pound sophomore, getting his first carry of the night.
Ball carried by number 29.
And that should do things.
Tackle made by number 72.
Cardinals going to stay in the huddle.
As this game wraps up here.
And that does things, Grant. 31 to 14. The Shamrocks are 1-0. Taking on number 5 Boone Central Newman Grove in their house. And again, we used it, putting an exclamation point with that Bailey Pelster run. A great all-around performance. They really came alive that second half and made a very big statement to all of Class C1 and the state of Nebraska as a whole with this performance here.
First game for Scotus, very big test for them coming out on top, but you know, in the favor of Boone Central Newman Grove, you got to know that first games are first games. There's a lot of time to improve. There will be big improvements by the time they get to November if Boone Central Newman Grove and Scotus are lucky enough to get there. So we'll be excited to see how these two teams develop over the course of this upcoming season, and couldn't ask for a much better game on a opening 2015 season on a beautiful Friday night.
Very much looking forward to hearing to winning head coach Tyler Linder, as well as our Columbus Community Hospital player of the game. We're not going to tell you who it is yet, we know, but you have to stay and hear what he has to say and listen. I know the suspense is killing you. There was 3 or 4 players really for the Shamrocks who made an arguable case for themselves here as the Columbus Community Hospital player of the game.
Well, and with Bailey Pelster, he was trying to make a statement for there at the end with that long run. Not saying he's the player of the game, but he was definitely trying to earn some points in that direction at the end there. Henry Keaton on Boone Central, props to him. He had a fantastic game this evening with some very big receiving plays.
Keep your eyes on him all throughout the rest of the season, obviously, for Boone Central Newman Grove. That impact player, he had over 100 yards receiving and really couldn't be stopped even by this stout Scotus defense. They had their hands full dealing with the senior, and also a force on the defensive end as linebacker as well. hats off to the Cardinals. They played a great game, and it's no easy task when you lose all the players you do after coming from a state tournament win last year. And just because they're 0-1 now does not mean, like you said, they're not going to be here down the road in the rest of this 2015 season.
Yeah, Keaton Henry, a guy who did not receive a lot of preseason honors or recognition. Just after seeing him tonight, you got to assume this kid has a bright future if he continues down the path he is. And you see Scotus there celebrating their victory as they huddle up and raise their helmets up down there on the field.
The Shamrocks, they're jumping around now. Very happy to see celebrating the win, as Grant was saying. We're being distracted by some fans who are waving at us in the glass, letting us know that they appreciate what we do.
Giving the thumbs up for the Scotus. They're excited. Now Brandon getting in on a little selfie action up here in the booth.
Can we tell them, yeah, we're getting a selfie. We're basically celebrities right now. So there's glass between us. There's fans outside the glass. We are selfieing with some adoring fans right now. We're filming, waiting for the Columbus Community Hospital Player of the Game as well as Coach Linder. There we go.
And now we see some love as we got the selfies. They're on camera now. They don't know it, but we're thumbs up is where we're at. Thumbs up is where we're going. And you can see right there as the camera goes, smiling faces as Scotus goes home with a victory tonight here in Columbus. And Boone Central Newman Grove, as we keep saying, they are a very, very, very good team. And head coach Mark Hudson in his first game of Boone Central Newman Grove has to chalk up a loss. But a lot of good things I think they can take away from that unit.
Yep, and Boone Central Newman Grove turns right around, as we mentioned, taking on another Columbus team in Lakeview next week. Also, as we mentioned, Scotus, almost potentially an equally as difficult task. A game will be broadcasting and taking on Aquinas Catholic, defending Class C2 state champions as well. And it's going to be a fun season, like we said, Grant. It's going to be fun, a fun ride. I don't really know how else to explain it. I used up all my creativity on the galloping floating gazelle term about mid-second quarter, so I'm running on empty.
Well, yeah, I mean, you were pointing on with that Aquinas Catholic. They are ranked number one, and they're ranked number one for a reason. Very good team returning. I think Central City is a team that, they're not ranked, but at least not in the top 10, but they have a very good squad. We kind of talked about them a little bit off air. Their passing game is extremely good. In fact, their quarterback last year had the most passing yards, I believe, and completions in the state, set the record in Class C. So look forward to that game as well. And then Pierce right after. So a fun schedule. Excited to see how they turn out. Lakeview tonight against Wilbur Clantonia. Looking forward to see how that game turned out as well.
And finally, it looks like you can't blame him. Coach Tyler Linder giving his boys the post-game speech and credit. We're finally now going to be able to hear from Coach Linder as well as Cole. I mean, I didn't say anything. Our Columbus Community Hospital Player of the Game, whoever that may be. Kate Bowling is grabbing him now, and a few more minutes and we'll be able to, or seconds I should say.
You were going to say that Columbus
Community Hospital Player of the Game. And the selfies continue right now. We're getting another one.
Selfies are ruthless.
In
this crowd. I've never been one for the selfies. I suppose I'll get in on one when somebody else is taking one. I'm an avid photo bomber myself, but Kate getting ready here.
Grant, and I'm not one to steal the limelight from anyone. It's about the kids. It's not about us, but sometimes we just can't help it.
Can't disagree with that. Sometimes the selfies are strong, but
Tell him.
Yeah, like you said, the limelight. Like you said, the limelight is on these guys tonight, and our player of the game, which we will be hearing from very shortly.
The anticipation is killing you guys. It's killing us as well. But Coach Tyler Linder and the secret player in question will be heard from right now.
I mean, this is a new thing. We usually don't have secret players.
Kate Bowling,
games,
what do you got?
ended up. What are your thoughts on the outcomes of the game?
You know, number one, we just got to be happy. Anytime you play a caliber team like Boone Central, Newman Grove, with the fan base that they have following them and just the athletes that they put on the field, right, it just feels good. I don't care what the score is. You know, coming out with a victory tonight is all that matters, and I'm really proud of our boys. They worked their tails off this week, and, you know, they got everything that they worked for this week. You know, that's a great group of kids that we have. You know, they bought into our program, and you know, they're taking a serious run at this thing. So, you know, we're very excited about everything that went on tonight, but we got to get back to the drawing board because we've got Aquinas next week. You know, I've already been told that they won big, so we've got a lot of work to do.
And what are our plans to prepare for next game?
You know, just again, we got to fix ourselves. You know, I think that if we execute the way that we know how to, everything will just fall into place. So take care of us, and you know, let other people adjust to us.
Great win, Coach. Thanks again. And I'm now going to pull in our player of the week, or player of the game, Cole Harrington. Thanks for joining us. Now, tell me, what were your intentions going into the game?
Execute the game plan. Coaches set us up perfect. Coach Cranky, our special teams coordinator, has a phenomenal scheme, and I mean, we did that. We did just that. We executed well on our safe punt, and the coaches always tell us they give us everything they set on the table, and we got to go out and we got to do what we got to do, and we did it.
What was your favorite moment of this game? Do you have a favorite?
Probably that block kick right before halftime. It was a big momentum builder going into halftime. I mean, if you saw the score before the end of the game, they would have been down only one touchdown if we wouldn't have blocked that, and it was right at the end of the game, so I thought that was good because I just told Coach I was going, and he let me go.
Cole, great win, and good luck with the rest of the season.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Brandon and Grant, back to you up in the booth.
Thank you, Kate. No rest for the wicked. Coach Linder already preparing for the big game next week against Aquinas Catholic. Again, hearing from Cole Harrington, the Columbus Community Hospital player of the game. Grant, it was tough, but he was the front runner. 2 touchdowns, 3 PATs, and a field goal. Just pure athleticism on that end, and congrats to Cole Harrington, our first of 9 Columbus Community Hospital players of the game.
Yeah, fantastic job by him tonight. And like I said a little bit earlier, Pelster gave a great effort there. He had a couple touchdowns. And really good job at battle for that position. But Harrington really just did a great job at getting after the game tonight as an offensive talent.
Well, again, thank you so much for watching this first live broadcast by the Columbus Newsteam.com. That's us. Thank you to our producer director Aaron Trout, Lane Alaming. Also, our 4 camera operators couldn't be made possible without them. There's a lot that goes into these things. Kate Bowling debuting on the sideline reporting. Grant Otten, feels good to be back in the booth with you as well,
yes,
alongside myself, Brandon Axman. You have any final thoughts as we wrap this thing up here in week 1?
Hey, just excited to see the rest of this game, or the rest of the season, pan out. Looking forward to seeing where these Columbus teams go. Check in with Lakeview, Wilburton, Clantonia game later, and Columbus, North Platte. Those games are wrapping up as well. We'll see how they did. Coach's show on Thursdays, Gio's show on Friday. Stay tuned. We got lots of sports coming this year, and looking forward to hanging out.
Us as well. Next Friday, we're going to be here again broadcasting Scotus as they take on Columbus Scotus takes on Aquinas Catholic, the Catholic rivalry. It's always a big game. It was a 3-point deficit last year, so don't go anywhere. 6:45 live coverage will be here again next Friday. Again, I'm Brandon Axman. Thank you so much for watching this game here on ColumbusNewsTeam.com, and we are out for tonight. We'll see you next Friday.